Neural DSP's Archetype Gojira is a plugin that was released at the beginning of this year, and I, as well as many other people I imagine, got it during the Black Friday sale this year. I've been using it for some of my projects since then, experimenting with it, and wanted to share some of my thoughts on it, as well as showcase it for anyone still on the fence in this video. Some of you might know that I have had an XFX2 for the past several years, and this is the first amp sim plugin that I bought since I bought my XFX, and it's really exciting. Stick around until the review section of this video for my thoughts on how it compares to the XFX. Marketed as the heaviest plugin in the universe, and being one of Neural DSP's biggest products, it's a large plugin with a lot to offer. As the name indicates, they work together with Gojira's Joe Duplantier to replicate his rig, and it includes 3 amps as well as 3 cabs, some really nice pitch pedals, as well as overdrive, distortion, phaser and chorus pedals. It also has a 9-band graphic post-amp EQ and delay and reverb pedals. Before we continue, be sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. I've put together a small demo song to showcase the plugin, and after that we'll do a walkthrough of the plugin, and then I'll give you a quick review of what I think of the plugin. In this song, all the guitar sounds you hear comes from Archetype Gojira, with some minor post-processing added. The rhythm guitars are quad-tracked, and the rest of the guitars are double-tracked. Hope you like it. Side note, if you want to learn more about another one of Neural DSP's plugins, Parallax, I made a video about that in the past that you can check out by clicking in the upper right corner here. Anyways, let's do a quick walkthrough of the plugin. So this is what you see when you boot it up. You got an input knob and a gate knob. You can run it in either stereo or mono mode. Here I run it in stereo. You got the preset section where you can save your own presets, delete them if you want to, and import. And you also got a bunch of artist and factory presets, and also a couple of presets from Gojira. You also got the output knob, and up here you got the different sections of the plugin. Let's walk through them. So here you have the two different pitch pedals. I have them both disabled in this preset. And in this section you got some more pedals. You got an overdrive pedal, which is engaged in this preset. You also got the distortion pedal, a phaser pedal, and a chorus pedal. Moving on, we got the amp section. This is the high gain amp. Moving along, we got the 9-band EQ right here that you can turn on and off, and you can adjust every individual band to your liking. And here we get the cab section. You can blend up to 2 mics per cab, and for every mic you can adjust the position, the distance, the level, the pan, and you can flip the phase if you want to, and you can also disable and enable them. And lastly, you got this section right here, where you have a delay pedal and a reverb pedal. And down here you can choose which amp and cab you want to. So this is the clean amp, this is the crunch amp, and this is the high gain amp. You can also choose which cab you want. Let's listen to this preset that I dialed in for this demo song. This tone is just the DI track running first into a simple EQ that cuts some of the lower frequencies, also cuts some mud up here, and also boosts some of the mids, and also boosts some of the highs. And then it's run directly into Archetype Gojira. And after that we have another very simple EQ, just some minor tweaks and the band pass, and then we have some minor saturation. Let's have a look at the lead tone. It sounds like this. This actually only has Gojira on it. So again, it's the high gain amp with the corresponding cab, with some simple delay and reverb on it. Let's listen to the clean tone. This also only has Archetype Gojira on it, with a clean amp and the corresponding cab. I tried to get a very genty type of clean sound out of it, and I think it sounds nice. You got the knobs here turned to some extreme positions, but I think it works. And then some delay and reverb. Let's listen to it. Let's have a look at the ambient guitar. This is basically just a rhythm preset, but with a bunch of reverb on it. It sounds like this. Let's listen to what it all sounds like in the mix. Let's listen to a couple of presets from Gojira. As you can hear, you can get a lot of different sounds out of Archetype Gojira. So what do I think of this plugin? As I mentioned in the introduction, I've been experimenting with this plugin in a couple of projects since I bought it, and I must say I'm really surprised how good it sounds. I did my research before buying the plugin, and I liked what I heard about this plugin the most. And so far it hasn't disappointed me. I still need to try out the pitch pedals, but from what I've seen, they can come in real handy. All of the amps sound really good. I really like the cab IRs for the high gain amp, and the built-in delay and reverb both sound really good. So how does it compare to the AXFX2? As I mentioned in the introduction, I've been exclusively using my AXFX for the past several years. And this is the first time I've bought an amp sim plugin in probably 8 years or so. Getting the first big point out of the way first, for me at least, is the workflow. First of all, I don't need to carry around a large black box with me anymore. All I need is a laptop and an audio interface to get a good tone out of my guitar. Being able to tweak the tone in the mix and hear the results instantly is also a big plus. Essentially, I feel like life is just easier with amp sim plugins in general. Up until now, there has always been a fairly big trade-off between conveniency and sound with amp sims compared to both real amps and the AXFX and the Kempers of the world. Now I feel like the playing field has been leveled out a bit, and amp sims is becoming more viable to use in final production. Comparing Archetype Gojira to the AXFX when it comes to the number of options for amps and cabs and effects, of course there isn't a real comparison here. The AXFX wins by far in terms of options you can choose from. Although I wouldn't necessarily call this an obvious negative for Archetype Gojira, as the number of options in the AXFX and other similar products can be kind of paralyzing. With Archetype Gojira, you instead get a limited number of options that all sound good. You are likely going to dial in a decent tone faster with this plugin, and I like that about Neural DSP's plugins. It's been distilled into the best that they have to offer and no more than that. I find myself being able to get where I want faster with this plugin than the AXFX due to the fact that it's just less stuff to try out. So if you like the sound of this plugin, that's an advantage. Speaking of the sound, comparing the two, I honestly need to do more comparisons to reach a definitive conclusion. Let me know in the comments if you want a video comparing the different amps in Archetype Gojira to the ones in AXFX2. But to me, they're definitely comparable sound-wise, and kinda just comes down to taste. If you like the sound of the plugin, it's for you. Otherwise, maybe another amp sim is for you. Or if you're wanting more options, maybe an AXFX is for you. What I would like with this plugin though, and the same goes for all other Neural DSP plugins I've tried, is to have a more modular approach to the different effects. For example, I am a big fan of EQing my guitar before it hits the amp, and being able to move the 9-band EQ around or even add another one before the amp would be really neat. Same goes for most other effects. Maybe adding another cab section if you want to blend up to 4 cabs or do something crazy like that, or blend 2 different amps. Basically, I would like to be able to replicate as much of my signal chain that I have in my DAW as possible within a single preset. Another thing would be to maybe add a Neural DSP loader as a separate plugin that allowed you to build presets with multiple amps, cabs and effects from multiple of your plugins from Neural DSP. I've been looking at getting the nameless plugin from Neural DSP as well, but maybe I like the cabs in the Archetype Gojira plugin better. Being able to build up a bit of a library of stuff and being able to blend them however you want, all in the same plugin, would be really cool. You could still just do this in your DAW, sure, but I like being able to quickly launch the standalone app and get playing. And well, that's it for this video everyone. Thank you for watching. If you want me to do more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.